welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be shooting a little video about some healthier alternatives to snacky chips, which is a weakness we all have and which is probably better to avoid. So here are my 4 alternatives to chips. First of all, we need this pumpkin that I have over here. It's autumn, so it's a perfect season to cook and to eat pumpkins. I'm going to be using just the seeds of this pumpkin for this first alternative to chips. So first off, we're going to need a cutting board and a strong knife to be able to cut this pumpkin open, and we'll just take the seeds out of the pumpkin with a spoon. Let's open this pumpkin. Okay, so let's now use a spoon to scrape out all the strings and all the seeds from the pumpkin. You then want to put the seeds and the strings in 2 different plates. The strings are just going to be trash, so what you need is actually just the seeds. Okay, so now that we have scraped off the inside of our pumpkin, we have divided the content between seeds and the rest of the strings. You're just gonna need the seeds over here, so we can toss this. So we'll put away our pumpkin because we're not gonna need the rest for this particular recipe. We're gonna need a baking tray with some baking paper to roast the pumpkin seeds in the oven. So for now, you can just preheat the oven at 200 degrees and we're going to season our seeds. For seasoning our seeds, we're going to need some pepper, some smoked paprika, and some salt. I'm using pink Himalayan salt for these ones, but you can use any other. So sprinkle some salt and some pepper and some of this smoked paprika. Will make them taste like bacon. Take a spoon and mix it all together. Now take your baking tray and put the pumpkin seeds well spread, as spread as possible on the tray. Okay, here's the tray with your seeds, and put them in the oven for approximately 20 to 30 minutes. You just need to check the color, how well they're roasting, and most of all, you're gonna need to hear them. They're gonna start popping, and when they start popping, you're probably almost ready. For the second alternative to chips, we're gonna need some olive oil, some salt, some garlic, a grater, and most importantly, the main ingredient, some bread. I have here some Danish rugbrød, and it is bread with it's rye bread with some seeds inside. You can choose basically any type of bread you want. The darker the better, and the more seeds it has, of course, the more taste it will have in the end. First off, you're going to need to dice the slices of bread. This is already pre-sliced, so I will just have to cut small cubes, and then we're going to season them and pop them in the oven. These are all very easy recipes. So now we have our bowl full of bread pieces, and we're gonna put a spoon of olive oil. I say a spoon, but I never actually measure it, so bear with me, I'm Italian. And then some salt. And then we're gonna take a clove of garlic. You take the grater in this side, which is not the cheese grater, normal cheese grater side, so the small strings will come off. Then, as usual, we'll take a spoon and mix it all together. Okay, So take another baking tray, put some baking paper, and put the croutons on top. Put the croutons as well spread as you can on the baking tray. Now I'm going to put the croutons in the oven at 200 degrees for approximately 15 minutes. The more they stay in, the crispier they get, but careful not to burn them. A third healthy alternative to chips or crisps, however you call them in your country, are actually something very simple: actual potatoes. Slice your potatoes as thinly as possible and lay them down as usual on a baking tray. Okay, so now put some oil, some salt and some pepper into a cup. Once you have this, take a brush and brush that on top of your potato slices. Since we didn't pre-cook these potatoes, we're probably gonna have to keep them in the oven for approximately half an hour, but they could also take a bit less. So keep an eye on them and make sure they don't burn. The fourth healthy alternative to chips that I'm gonna teach you how to make today, it's a very simple one. You can just buy some tortilla breads and we're gonna also cook them in the oven until they become crispy and delicious. I have mainly two versions of these. One type is going to be with tomato paste and oregano, and the other type is just gonna be with salt, pepper and olive oil. Take a cup and put olive oil, salt and pepper, as we did for the potato slices. For the other type, you're gonna need a tomato paste and some oregano. So take another cup, pour a little bit of tomato paste inside. A spoonful will be enough, and add some oregano to it. You can put more than one bread on top of each other so that you can cut them all at the same time. First, cut them in half, then put the halves together and cut them in quarters. Once you cut them in quarters, cut them again, like you were slicing a pizza basically. Spread your tortillas with tomato paste and oregano in a very, very thin layer, because we don't want them to get soggy. We can brush the rest of the tortillas with the mixture of olive oil, salt and pepper. Don't forget to add some salt also to the tomato ones. These will need to be in the oven just for a moment, because they're very thin and they don't actually have to cook. 5 minutes at approximately 220 to 125 degrees. Okay guys, so I hope this helped. I hope you like these snacks that we created together today and have a healthier snacking from now on and try to avoid fried stuff. Thanks for watching and come back soon. Bye!